Hi, and welcome to this week's business updates from the consulting room. So, Plan B finishes, and all the regulations that we've been having to live by come to an end this week. But not every business is changing to the new rules. Some are actually retaining their own discretionary requests. So Sainsbury's, Waitrose and John Lewis are saying face masks are still going to be requested to be worn in their stores. Rail operators the same. Morrison's are saying that they're not enforcing this. So just because the regulatory rules are changing doesn't mean that your business doesn't have to have its own standards and make decisions to protect your customers, your clients, and more importantly, your staff. So what are you doing to help your staff with the change of rules to feel comfortable and confident to return to working in whatever format that they feel best suited? While we're on a similar vein, working from home is again no longer being set in stone. We can go back to the offices. But what are you going to do? Do you have plans in place that allows a hybrid working? Or are you demanding everybody gets back to the office? Or can people be completely flexible and work from home? We've seen over the last 2 years that outputs become more important in assessing how your staff are actually achieving versus the old way of are they clocked in on time? Because when they're not in the office, the outputs become more important. So I think that's a really positive way of assessing your team's performance. Interestingly, Clive Watson from the City Pub Group has stated that he feels that staff coming back into the office will help younger apprentices, the more inexperienced. And I think that's very true. We were on a call today where we were talking about the fact that people who are masters of their jobs, they can almost work anywhere to do the job that they've mastered over the years. But people who are still developing and training, they need to work alongside people who are masters at their craft. They need to watch them and listen to them. And that can't be replicated in a working from home environment where the only interaction is a phone call or Zoom. So while flexibility for work is undoubtedly going to be important and people will want that flexibility, we have to remember that to develop individuals and develop people, having office space backfilled with that real rich environment of learning and developing and communicating is very important. MTD, making tax digital. So this is something that's been talked about for quite a few years, and because of the last 2 years, it's been put back and put back. But there was a report today that suggested that although this is being rolled out over the next 2 years, and it's going to have 2.4 to 4 million people actually completing their tax returns digitally, only 9 people are actually testing it. So a brand new IT system that's going to help 4 to 5, 6 million people complete their tax returns is having 9 people testing it. That's a real concern for me. I'm sure that the HMRC who are going to roll this out will be trying to engage a lot more people. They used to have 900 people on the project, but now only 9. So if you're testing a new IT piece of kit or rolling out some new equipment, what sort of percentages would you expect to be testing it versus its actual implementation? 9 out of 4, 5, 6 million seems very low to me. Now, we've always talked about continuous developing, learning, always learning. And the Newark Sugar Factory, which is over 100 years old, has demonstrated this in that there's a new agreement between British Sugar and Virgin Media and O2 to launch the first ever multi-site private mobile network in the UK. So the factories in Norfolk, Suffolk and Nottinghamshire are all going to have their own private mobile network to allow them to move forward into the new way of working in the modern world of AI, automation, drones that will help with health and safety, efficiency. So even a factory that's over 100 years old is moving into the next phase of its development with mobile technology that is specifically built for that and 3 other factories. So you're never too old to learn or develop. And artificial intelligence continues to help our world move forward in different ways. And we're now seeing it in catering. So Nicolas Maire, who's a French chef with 18 Michelin stars across his career, now works for a company, Firmenich, who perfume manufacturer historically, but they've moved into the non-meat, meat substitute arena, which they believe is going to be worth $200 billion by 2030. So to help Nicolas Maire, they have a sous chef called Sam, who is actually an AI, an artificial intelligence support. So he's a robot, and he's been trained with over 60 years of data to be able to taste the food and make sure the flavors are what clients want. So rather than having humans who do that, he's going to have a robot doing his flavoring and tasting. So quite incredible, and again demonstrating how artificial intelligence is changing the landscape for business. What does that mean for you? Well, who knows? Could you have a robot doing your job, or a job that will help you be more efficient in your business? Always worth looking at. And finally, just a couple of fully funded programs that we're running in conjunction with Newark and Sherwood District Council. Business support program for businesses under 3 years old that's starting in February, and the business resilience program for construction and manufacturing sector that starts in March. If you'd like any more details, please give David or I a call. Many thanks. Have a great rest of the week.